Hey guys, welcome to my channel. Today we will be reviewing Paradise, Wildcat Is Down, Season 1, Episode 1, starring Sterling K. Brown. This is the new show on Hulu. This show starts out with Sterling K. Brown at home. He's a single father of two children, a girl and a boy, and he's living in this quiet, quaint neighborhood. So he's making notes for the kids, preparing lunches, and then goes out for a run. As he's running, it's like he's leaving this quiet, quaint area and going to this secluded, rich neighborhood. It looks more like estate properties, you know. Um, you see him running up to the house. He's speaking to the guards. They're calling him boss, so you still don't know at this moment what's going on. Why are they referring to him as boss? You don't know if he's the person in charge or if he's working for the person in charge in the beginning. So he leaves, continues on running, then comes back later on, and you see he's the lead agent for the former president. This show goes back and forth in between flashbacks. So in the present time, the president has served 2 terms, and now he's out to greener pastures and just chilling. It keeps going back to how they begin, and it shows how he saved the president's life, and it shows how he saved the president's life and how he was asked to follow him into retirement. I will say this is a slow burn series. Initially watching it, I wasn't sure if I was going to like it. I wasn't sure if I was going to continue on to watch the next episode, because in the beginning it was just so slow. But going back into Sterling K. Brown, starting work for that day, he goes in, he checks on the president. President hasn't come out. He normally wakes up and comes out about 8 o'clock in the morning. He's still in bed. So Sterling K goes up to his room. President doesn't answer. He opens the door. He finds the president on the floor dead. So I was trying to figure out, why is he making it so secretive? Like, I would think you would just sound the alarm. I still don't understand after this episode why he scoped the scene how he scoped it. I would just think, hey, president's dead. Let's tell everybody. It's apparent. You could tell that it's probably murder. How he looked, bloodied and bruised. But Sterling K. Xavier started his own investigations. He's seeing some earrings, that were left behind, 2 wine glasses. He's noticing that there's a box with something missing. And throughout all of this, you never see a first lady. So I was wondering, like, where's the first lady? You really don't see single presidents, and this was a young president. So I was still trying to figure out, like, what's going on with that. Why is he having nighttime callers and the first lady's nowhere around? And it just didn't seem like there was a presence of a first lady. So they go back, they watch the video footage, and you see the night guard the night agent that was on duty. He kind of took the night off. He was sleeping, eating, sleeping, and the cameras paused. And that was around the time that someone was in the house. The only person that could have been in the house at that time was the female agent. And at the end, they kind of like skimmed over that. They said it, they stopped, they skimmed, and then they kept on going. So I guess in the next episode, we're going to see. But there's also beef between Xavier and the president. Xavier got sworn into this secret meeting where only like 100 people know about this black box, which happens to be missing now that the president is dead. And come to find out, this black box is like the secrets of, it seems to be that the world may be coming to an end, and they're trying to prepare in Colorado with some underground city. I don't know what happened, but because of this, Xavier's wife is dead. So Xavier takes evidence. I'm kind of like going a little fast, but Xavier takes evidence, like the cigarettes that the president used to smoke. And Okay, so when he's running away, he stops. He's running back into like the quaint area of the neighborhood, and everything is seeming tech. And I'm still trying to figure that out. Like, what's going on? Is this really like that underground city? Is this a made up city? But everybody's paying with things with their watches, kind of like Apple Watches. Everything they're doing, no one has a card, no one's paying cash. You're just like, boom, boom. I'm mentioning that because they made a point to note when he was running to point out people doing that. And it just makes me wonder, are we living in like our world how we are now, or are we living in that underground world because the world got destroyed? I don't know. But the president did ask Xavier, will you ever forgive me? And Xavier said, I'll forgive you when I'm able to sleep again. And I'll be able to sleep again once you're dead. And then the president ends up dead. And then I'm trying to figure out, like, well, what did the president do? So they flash back to him being sworn into that secret box thing, that black box. Somehow Xavier's wife ended up dead. We don't know how. We just know the president is responsible. Xavier's wife was a scientist that traveled, so he was predominantly kind of raising the kids anyway. The wife is dead. The president is behind it or was responsible, and Xavier hates the president. So where he went from yes sir, blah blah blah, having a lot of respect, it was pretty much just answering direct questions. He had no respect for the president. He displayed respect, but he didn't respect him. Now, because I know I switched around a little bit, so at the end of the series, at the of the show, Xavier was running. Remember I told you about the text stuff. So he stops in front of this like clock, digital clock, and it's saying we'll reset. Dawn is delayed for 2 hours. And I'm thinking, how was dawn delayed for 2 hours? Weird. But then Xavier pulls out the cigarettes because the president used to smoke cigarettes all the time. And he pulls out the cigarettes, and the cigarettes has the president's blood on it. And he pulls out one cigarette, and the cigarette has numbers written on it. So I'm wondering, did the president leave a code for Xavier on the cigarette? Also, the president had a little cuddy buddy. So he was sneaking this black chick in at night. And she ended up leaving her earrings behind. They were all familiar with her, but us, the audience, we're not familiar with her. So when the president ended up dead, guess who's the lead agent investigating? Agent Robinson, the little cuddy buddy that was on the screen. And she, the one that had the earrings, and she left her earrings behind. So it's going to be interesting to see how all that plays out. You don't know who's who, because the last person to see the president alive was Xavier, but the camera could see him leaving. No one saw anyone enter that room. But remember, we had that where all the cameras paused, they froze. And then that Agent Jenny was the only one on the compound at the time, outside of Bill or whatever his name was, who was asleep on the couch. Jenny is the only person, or Janie, is the only person who had access to the president at that time. And like I said earlier, they kind of skipped over that. They said it and then they moved on. So I don't know if we're going to start investigating her like the next episode. But I will say, will I continue watching? Yes. Was this good? Yes. Was it slow to start? It was absolutely slow to start, and up until the midway point, I didn't know if I was going to continue watching it, but then they started, adding in like a lot of little Easter eggs and key things. So, yeah. So far, so good. Paradise Wildcat is Down. Paradise Wildcat is Down. Season 1, Episode 1 was a good watch. I'm going to watch the next episode, and I will let you guys know how it is. If you like my reviews, please like, comment, and subscribe.